Welcome to Service Georgina. I'm Mayor Margaret Quirk. Our shows are designed to bring you information on the various departments, services, and programs offered by the town of Georgina. Joining me today is Patty White, Manager of Recreation Services. Welcome, Patty.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I always enjoy, we sit down at times and talk about what we have for recreation, and we're really fortunate here in the town to have a real variety of recreational opportunities, more than many other municipalities. And speaking of something that's unique here in the town and within York Region is the Rock. So tell me, what sort of events do we have planned for this season at the Rock?
This season at the Rock, we have always a wide variety of special events that happens there. Our main features are Snowfest, and then we also have a toboggan, a cardboard toboggan race, which is always fun. So it highlights their creativity, and then also we have special guests such as yourself coming, and then we would grade them and race them and even their speed. We also end the season always in the winter with puddle jump.
That's always fun. I gotta tell you, that's one of my favorite events, to see how far they can skim across the water and how fast some of them may sink, and that water is usually pretty chilly.
Yes. And they come down on tubes, or they'll come down on their skis and snowboards. So sometimes the tubes will do a little tip over.
Oh yeah, a little flip. Sometimes the skiers usually the ones that can skim right over the top of the cold water.
Yeah.
So there's always like the Rock is open different, has a schedule. So maybe tell us the schedule for the Rock if somebody wants to go tubing and snowboarding.
Definitely, and if you're ever looking, always go visit the georginarock.ca. That has all of our updated features and hours of operations, because we do, if it is a holiday or March break or Christmas, we extend our hours, but basically our hours of operation for the regular winter season is Wednesday and Thursday. We're open from 4:30 to 9 o'clock. Friday, the same, 4:30 to 9. And then Saturday, we're 9 to 9. And then Sunday, we're 9 to 6.
Right. And it's important, as you said, to check that website, because sometimes some facilities may be closed because of weather conditions. And there's also a webcam. So if you want to see exactly what's happening on the hill, you can do that. So that's important to check that out.
It'll get you excited and look forward to it captures still photos.
Still photos every, was that every 10 minutes or something?
Every 10 minutes, I believe, yeah. So definitely you can see what the conditions are at the Rock. There's lots of great communication. And of course, if you don't have access to the online, then you can always just call us.
Call in and find out what's open today and what may be closed because of weather. Now, for a lot of people, the Rock gives them an opportunity to have that first taste of snowboarding and skiing. What sort of lessons do we provide for residents?
We do exactly that, the ski and snowboard. So we classify ourselves as a beginner hill.
Right.
So it's all about that introduction to the winter sliding sports. So definitely if you're just wanting to try it out, and even if the little toddlers, we have this thing called the Cub Club.
Yes.
And it is free for anyone to come, and basically you pull. We have equipment that you would just sign out, and then you can go through a little terrain park with your child.
It teaches them the balance and what to expect, and I know I've seen, it's so fun to watch the young kids and watch them progress up through. One year they're in the Cub Club, and then a few lessons later, and as they get a little bit older, they're coming down the hill and having a great time.
We have an amazing snow school.
Do we have lessons for adults?
We do, and then we also even, with special events, we also have some ladies' nights and men's nights, and try to make it a little bit more social, and you're looking for so having a fun time with friends and meeting new friends.
Exactly.
So, but also you may have done it when you were younger, and then you're wanting to get yourself reintroduced to the sliding sports before you maybe tackle a larger hill. The Rock is the place to come. But Miranda Link, who is one of our recreation programmers, she leads our snow school, and we have an amazing group of staff, and definitely if you want to learn right from little, and then we even are now. When we first opened, we were all about introductory lessons, but so our students that have started with us are now progressing. So we're progressing with them, and so we have terrain park features and terrain park lessons that you can really...
A little bit for the more advanced.
For the more advanced, yes.
Yes, because
more tricks.
More tricks, more things. Yeah, I've seen some of those up there too. It's really quite incredible to see. Now, something that people may not be aware of is that you can rent the Rock for a special event. Tell me about that.
So we have our standard birthday party rentals that you can, if you're having an 8-year-old and want to come in and have a tubing party, we have reserved tables for you. We have a menu, a lunch option. But even outside of that, we are starting to expand into private bookings. So even after hours of regular operations, we can extend a booking. And whether you want to have a bachelorette party, or if you want to have just a 50th birthday party, then we're definitely there, and it's giving you that thrill, excitement, and a lot of fun and laugh.
Yeah, and sponsorship. I know I've seen different organizations or individuals that have sponsorship nights, so that's always a possibility too.
Yes, we encourage anybody who's interested. The Rock is an amazing venture. It allows for team building if you're looking from a corporate standpoint, wanting to get your, from being in an office to an outdoor setting and really bonding your team. We have opportunities and sponsorships we always, of course, welcome.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's always nice to have those free nights sponsored by a local business, individual that wants to do that, and that's always good.
Exactly.
Now, switching gears a little bit, the town has more than just a recreation program. We also have cultural programming.
Yes.
We have the Stephen Leacock Theatre. Maybe tell us some of the programs that are offered through the Stephen Leacock, or what the Stephen Leacock can offer to the community.
Sure. The Stephen Leacock is a theater that's located at 130 Gwendolyn Boulevard in Keswick. It's partnered with Club 55 in Keswick there. We have a 295-seat theater, and basically we run programming right from rentals. We have third-party promoters that come in and showcase their shows.
I've seen different, like tribute nights to Johnny Cash,
exactly.
or different individuals or groups, Elvis night. So
yeah, and if you want to see, and then we have our own town event. We have Christmas concerts, and we had the Ennis Sister, and the Ennis Sisters will be returning for 2020. So we're really excited, and we're currently booking all of our acts for 2020. But definitely, if you want to go onto our online ticket system, which is called Tix Hub, you can see all of the upcoming performances, the dates, the times, the ticket information.
So whether they're a town organized one or whether they're a third party, you don't have to go to the theater to purchase your tickets. You can purchase them through the Tix Hub.
Yeah, the Tix Hub is all of the online. I would suggest always using that.
Yeah, it's convenient.
Because the box office does have certain hours, like we're closed on Sundays and Mondays, but definitely it's open 24/7 on the online.
Online, that's always good. Now we have other recreational programming as well. We have fitness and the aquatics. Maybe tell us a little bit about how somebody if they want to get involved with some other fitness activities.
Definitely. Right now you'll see our activity guide, which is fall and winter, and we're currently working on our spring and summer for 2020. But definitely this has everything that you need to know. And the good thing is about online is that you also can go online through georgina.ca into our registration ActiveNet system, and you'll see everything that's in this document that's available. So we go from all the age demographics that we have programming from the preschool all the way up to the seniors categories, and they range from fitness, from yoga, from Zumba to cardio boot camp to cooking.
That's right. I've seen a lot of the cooking ones lately are very popular, and mums and kids and different target groups. But there's quite a range, and that's what I mean. A lot of other municipalities don't have the range of programs that we have. We also have the Fitness Pass. Maybe tell people what that Fitness Pass is and how they could utilize it.
So the Fitness Pass not only includes dry land activities, but we also incorporated some of the AquaFit classes within that Fitness Pass. So you can buy it, whether it's a 10 times pass, a 30 times pass, 50 times pass. They don't expire.
Well, that's good.
And then basically you have your pass, and then you can go to the you can see online the Fitness Pass schedule, and those ones are, you can go to any of those classes during those times, present your pass, and then and go enjoy and get fit.
Yeah, can you also sign up for like a 6-week program? Is that still an option, or is it more of the fitness pass?
No, the fitness pass is more tailored to the adult programming.
Right.
But we have registered programs all the time. So depending on the season, it could be a 4-week, a 6-week, an 8-week, 12-week. They all range. So once you find the activity you want, the description will lay everything out with the price point and then the duration.
The duration of it.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes people sign up for a 6-week program and then they realize they can't can't get to all the events. So somebody coming in, what if the class is full? Are there limits to the number of people that can drop into some of the classes?
For the specifically only registered programs, there is a maximum limit to them because depending on which room we're in, it may
Right.
have a capacity for that size. The ones that are related to the fitness schedule, because we've tailored it more for the adult fitness pass, is because of the flexibility, because
Right.
everybody, being an adult, you're busy with work, you're
Well,
busy
yeah,
with
things
family.
happen. You can't get there
Yeah.
that week, but this way it's you buy so many pass so many times, and you can use them up, as you said,
Yeah.
at your leisure type of thing.
And when we combine the fitness with the registered, we put it in a bigger space. So we've never had a max
Never-
capacity.
well,
Yeah.
that's good.
So
Now, it seems a little ways away, but summer will eventually come, and we are planning now for our summer camps. Maybe tell us quickly some of the more popular camps, what we're looking at for summer 2020.
great. Yeah, we range our summer camps. We probably have over about 20 themed camps. And they range in all different categories, from just a variety camp to a water camp, an aquatic camp, to theater camp, to, of course, our rock specialty camps. We even have one camp that's called Rock Into the Wild for the older age group of the children, and because that includes a one-night stay at the Pioneer Village.
Oh,
so
really?
they camp out.
Oh,
so
nice.
definitely the registration is tied with our spring registration. So if you want to register for camp, it's March 3rd. And this year or in 2020 for the spring registration, we're actually going to have a residents only date and a
Oh, okay.
non-resident date. So residents will be March 3rd, and then non-residents will be able to register on March 10th.
Okay, good, perfect. Lots of information. If people want more details, there's certainly the books that you mentioned. They can go online and check things out. So there's lots to do in Georgina for recreation opportunities. So thank you for joining me today. So that's our show for today. Thank you so much. Oh, I think actually we're going on a break. What am I saying? We've got somebody else coming with us next. But thank you for coming to Service Georgina. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to Service Georgina on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Mayor Margaret Quirk. Joining me now is Mike Hutchison. Mike's the Manager of Municipal Law Enforcement. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
We thought today we would talk about the short-term rental bylaw that's recently been passed and enforced now within the town. We call short-term rentals a little acronym, so we'll call them straws, just for the sake of ease of, instead of saying short-term rental. Before we get into the details, what is a short-term rental exactly?
A short-term rental accommodation is the use of a dwelling unit or any part thereof for the purpose of temporary residence, not to exceed 30 days.
Okay, so is it different than a B&B, for example?
No, technically a bed and breakfast is a type of short-term rental accommodation, and if an owner would like to refer to their straw as a bed and breakfast, they will be able to do so.
Yeah, so we've sort of rolled the bed and breakfast bylaw into the short-term rental, the straw bylaw.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, can you give me a brief overview of the bylaw? There's a lot of things that we took our time on this bylaw. We took a couple years to research what other places were doing and what worked for Georgina, because we have the lakeshore community. We have a lot of desire for people to use their homes. But give me an overview of the bylaw.
Well, there is an information package available in our clerk's division, but some of the requirements in the bylaw include a 100-meter separation distance between straws, as well as a maximum amount of people permitted on the property of a straw at any given time, as well as an important one is the fact that straws must be owner occupied or have a host living on site of the straw.
So if you've got a straw, you can't have it empty. You have to either live there or have a host live on site to be a straw.
Yes, absolutely. Now, that is something that can be waived if an application
I was just going to say, what if somebody wants to still do it but isn't living on site?
So there's a straw committee, and someone can apply for a variance from the bylaw, and they will have to present a justification as to why they don't need to have a host on site.
Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later with another question, but why did we do this bylaw? And I know that a lot of people that don't have a straw close to them wonder, well, why did the town do this? What's the point? Why is the town, going through this licensing process? But maybe give some reasons why we went into this.
Yeah, well, straws aren't new. They've been around for a while, but with advancements in technology, we have seen an increase in access to straws for the public. So this has been creating, in some neighborhoods, people are seeing the proliferation of straws. And people are worried that there's going to be a change in the character of our residential communities. Right. So, we've seen an increase in noise complaints coming from straws. We do also...
Well, they're concerned with some of the noise was the party palaces.
Yes, sorry, that's what I was getting to. Yeah, some properties have been referred to as party palaces, right. And nobody wants to see those popping up around them.
Because in some cases, I would go online and go to some of the platforms to look at the straws, and it would be, sleeps, 20 people. Well, if it says it sleeps 20 people, there's going to be maybe twice as many there, and I think that was a real concern from you get that many people onto a property, the noise concerns. One of the other issues that we've looked at with a straw is those properties on their own well and septic, and what have we looked at for that?
Yeah, so if a property is on their own private septic system, then there will be an inspection required by the building division. As a result of that inspection, we may see a reduction in the maximum amount of people permitted on the property of the straw.
And what's permitted on the property within the bylaw? How many people?
12 people.
12 people.
Yes.
So, and that includes those that are staying there, that are staying overnight, as well as people that may just be there for the evening.
Yes, and even including the host or the owner. Yes.
Right. So if somebody wants to go through a variance, what's that process, and what are they allowed to go through on the variance system?
So there is a fee involved with that, and once the prescribed fee is paid, you can apply for a variance for just a few things. One is the 100-meter separation distance, the maximum amount of people on the property, you can ask for an increase, as well as the
owner occupied.
Yes, exactly. You can apply for the owner not to be on site or a host, yes.
So that process, if I'm coming in to put an application in for a license and I'm not an owner occupied, I put the application in, and at the same time I have to ask for a variance to that.
Yes, absolutely.
And then there's a committee that has been formed that will review those applications.
Yes. And the decision of the committee will be final.
Right. So when it comes to enforcement, because that has been a concern for the last couple of years from especially those people living beside those party palaces. So there's enforcement involved with the bylaw, as well as there's a demerit point system. Maybe explain how the demerit point system will work.
So the demerit point system will ensure that owners of straw are following the provisions of the bylaw. If there are violations of this bylaw or other regulatory bylaws, such as the noise bylaw, the waste collection bylaw,
the burning,
fireworks bylaw, just to name a few, demerit points will be assessed against the property, the owner of the straw.
And so if they get, how many demerit points will they get a suspension of their license?
Once demerit points reach 7, the licensing issuer will have the ability to suspend the license temporarily. If you hit 15 demerit points, the license can be revoked permanently. Okay.
There's also a renter's code of conduct. Maybe tell me a little bit about that.
So the renter's code of conduct serves to remind renters that they are staying in a residential community. There are bylaws to think about. There are other people in the neighborhood. So think about the noise bylaw again, the waste collection bylaw, fireworks bylaw, just to name a few. If the renters aren't behaving, demerit points can be assessed against the owner of the property.
Okay. If a license is revoked, you said there's an appeal period or an appeal process, so they can go to that committee and ask to have it back. And
yes. So it's the same committee as the variance committee, and they can appeal to the committee and say why they should be able to keep their license or why the license should not be suspended.
Okay. Now, what if somebody chooses to operate without a license? They say, you know what, I'm not going to get a license, I'm still going to operate.
Firstly, there will be an attempt to get the straw licensed. I mean, unless they don't have a license and they're operating illegally because of enforcement action, but we will be working with the owner to get it licensed. If they refuse to, if they don't want to comply with the bylaw, then enforcement action will be initiated by a municipal law enforcement officer.
And what does that entail? Will they be taken to court? Are there fines?
So typically we would start off by issuing a ticket, and if we don't get compliance, we would be forced to issue a summons and take the owner to court.
Now, this is a new bylaw for us and for a lot of other municipalities that are looking at this. So we'll certainly be watched by some other municipalities on this. When are you reporting back to us on how many licenses and that type of thing?
Yes, we do. Staff do plan on reporting back to council in April of 2020, and we will let you know at that time how things are going and how many licenses have been issued. So
going back just a bit on the enforcement, in the past we had some after-hours staff. Is that still going to be the way for this summer?
Yes, definitely. We will have extended hours for staff to be out there. Typically, when straws are being used on evenings and weekends, we will have a phone number published that the public can call us on.
And if it's late in the evening, it's not going to be the bylaws, so they would call the police to be involved with situations as well?
Yes, definitely, yes.
So I guess one of the concerns that's out there is what this costs to the municipality. So what is the fees that are being charged to the people, the license holders, the straws? What are we looking at for the fees?
We are looking at an application fee is $250. A renewal fee will be $150. And there are other fees by the building division as well if they have to come out and inspect the septic system. The fire department is also charging a small fee. And there are fees as well for an appeal or a variance application.
One of the other reasons that we put the straw bylaw in place was concern about the safety of those people visiting and staying in the straws in terms of fire concerns. Is fire department and building department going to be going out and inspecting the straws? If they apply, what's the step? Do they have to submit a floor plan? Do they show where the bedrooms are? What's the process for that?
Yes, so a site plan of the entire property must be provided, as well as a floor plan of the straw. The fire department will be going out with the municipal law enforcement division on every property, on every application. And building, I believe, will only be getting involved if there is a private septic system or something that they are concerned about. Parking's
always been a concern from the residents in the neighborhood in terms of parking on the street, parking on the lawn. They're limited to the amount of parking that they can...
Yes. Each owner will have to provide a parking plan. There is a minimum requirement of 3 parking spaces at a straw, plus 1 additional space for each guest room being rented out. Okay.
You had said there's going to be a package. There's a package of information available both here at the Civic Center and online, because some of the straws are operated by people from outside of the community. So people are going to be able to go online and get the details?
Yes, definitely. That's very important that owners are able to find the information that they need.
Okay. Going back to some of the enforcement efforts, do people sometimes, when they come to an area, they're not familiar with all the regulations, so the Renters Code of Conduct will have those details in them. But if a person thinks that something's happening at a short-term rental that shouldn't be, they'll call in and ask for the enforcement. But what if it's the occurrence happened at midnight and police didn't come, bylaw staff, and they're concerned that it doesn't qualify as a demerit point? How can we work with the residents in the neighborhood to make sure that compliance is done with some of those infractions?
Yeah, we'll definitely start by giving us a call, and just because someone doesn't answer your call in the middle of the night, one good thing about municipal law enforcement is that we can deal with the matter after the fact. So
Right.
if it's on a weekend, you can give us a call on the Monday morning. A resident will be able to provide a statement to us, and it will be investigated by the municipal law enforcement division.
So if they've been setting off fireworks, if they, had a party and there was 30 people they counted on site, if bylaws or the police weren't able to go out, there's still that ability to acknowledge that incident and have it investigated.
Definitely. We will receive statements from residents in situations like that.
So going back to the owner-occupied or a host on site, does the host have to be there 24/7, or what's the requirement for being available to deal with a situation? Because that's always been a concern for the ones that are owned by people outside of the community, and who do you call? They're in Toronto, they're in some other part of the country. Is there a requirement for them to have us to have access to who should be in charge of the unit?
Yes, definitely. So we understand that the host or the owner of a straw, they do have a life, so they can go out and enjoy their lives, but if something comes up, they need to be accessible and they need to return to the property within 1 hour. If they do not, it will be a violation of the bylaw.
And again, that's a demerit point.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's been a long process, and I know that a number of the residents that live beside the straws are happy to see some of the changes that we've made. So I guess time will tell how this all works in terms of the bylaw. There could be some adjustments made over time, but I guess you're reporting back to us with those details.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Well, good luck. This will be an interesting summer for bylaws with
Yes, definitely.
with a brand new straw bylaw and for the residents. So, thank you, Mike, for coming on today. This has been Service Georgina. I'm Mayor Margaret Quirk. I've been your host. Come back to our next show where we'll be talking again with another department, reviewing the different programs and services offered by the town. We'll see you next time.